Not even in the middle of the run, like the first 15%.
Huh. Jared, would you log into Guild Wars real quick?
Why?
Sure. Show my Jorah.
Oh.
You can't tell until afterwards.
Bitch, please. It's a product of my speed clears.
I know, but you can't tell. Where are you at, Jared?
Let's see. It depends. I really could be just about anywhere. Where?
Also, we both have the same map traveling.
Where are you at?
Amy and Cabanat.
Okay, that's easy. I'll just log into my ranger who parks there.
Fantastic. What district are you in? Oh lol, you're upset me. Don't tell me. And then he beats me to the group invite.
I am a boss, a boss, boss, boss.
Yeah, Lois, you tell him.
Still no message from Jeremy.
I'm telling you, man, he's cleaning.
There's a text.
Or fapping.
Or fapping.
Or he forgot, and he's actually finishing up a round of frisbee golf. That's a fucking sweet ass shield. I don't even care about the sword. I want that shield.
Okay, well they match, so shush.
They do.
They're set. Dave got me both of them.
Dave is a sweetheart like that.
Hey, no, I was going to sell them.
Dave can't even take a fucking compliment. Listen to him. He's like, wait, I said called a sweetheart? Nope, gotta insert douchebaggery so that no one thinks I'm a sweetheart.
He does have some rep to upkeep.
Such a male thing to do.
You male?
A little bit.
Oh, well, deal with
No,
it.
Jorah, stop playing the fucking violin and let me stare at you. Jorah, you're humongous.
She is.
I mean that in the best way possible. Like, if really took that, I would fit underneath her giant knockers.
Alright.
She'd let me
Never mind.
The built-in self-defense mechanism.
So yeah, no, there's definitely some more shit that like came out today, and I was like, no, we're gonna need shit to cover next week. I'm just like, fuck it, we'll put it in there next week.
Give it a le bouffe.
Le boof.
You mad about my boobs?
Classiest podcast in Guild Wars.
Right? How's your speed clear going there, Dave?
I haven't even tried.
Dave's waiting till 5 before. Okay.
Oh, I've already got iTunes up.
I want to do an Underworld run, but everyone's a bitch and runs Advanced Tearaway instead of regular Tearaway. I can run the Dervish build in regular Tearaway. I can't in Advanced, because Advanced is casters, little bitches. Grow up and play a melee.
I am, that's why I finished leveling my warrior this week.
I'm not, but I'm a All that means is that I'm naturally predisposed to dislike melee. Not impossible. It's just,
yeah.
How does that make you naturally predisposed to dislike melee?
Because I said so.
Bitch, please.
To be fair,
Dave.
like 90% of all females I've ever gamed with in RPGs preferred to play ranged classes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's use Mel and Enhancement Shaman.
Well, I'm not saying that, yeah, which is like half magical, so it doesn't really count.
Well, my Dervish is 90% magical.
But you also wield a big fucking scythe.
That's irrelevant.
I fail.
Really irrelevant.
I say I fail to see how it's completely irrelevant.
Y'all are just mad because I'm right. Haters
You
gonna
made
hate.
Oh, shut up. Does anyone ever have the urge to just punch the shit out of Dave?
Usually at
Just
least
me.
usually at least twice a week.
Excellent. Just checking to make sure that wasn't completely irrational on my part.
No, definitely not. He's a pretty good troll though, so it's really only a natural reaction to want to bust him in the face. Did I just say bust him in the face?
I hope so.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Is that like busting a...
No, it's definitely not like busting a nut.
Sorry.
Among the things it is like, it is definitely not like that.
Okay. Makes me set the record.
Anytime.
No, I know. He's speaking to me anymore. Guess that's the end of the free crap in Guild Wars, huh?
Yep. Oh, it's so nice to be moving around in my chair and not making a whole bunch of noise.
Did you discover WD-40 or what?
No, I'm sitting in the folding chair that was next to my desk chair.
You're so late.
Damn right. Besides,
Listen to Jared. Look at me, I'm moving around in a fucking folding chair. Can't go anywhere in a folding chair.
so?
So.
My desk is on carpet. I can't exactly roll in my desk chair all that well either.
No, but at least in a desk chair you can lean back, you can swivel.
I can lean back. It just requires putting the folding chair on 2 legs.
You could fall over. Man, okay.
And it will be the loudest noise in your ears ever because I've got my earbuds plugged into my mic, so the mic would come with me. Somebody just pinged.
Oh, it was Dave. What the fuck is Jeremy?
Getting back from the outskirts of Vermilion
How do you know this?
because he texted me. And Barstow Park is on the outskirts of Vermilion, kinda.
Are we waiting for him to start the show?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I can get the speed clear.
Oh, I knew it.
I guarantee he's...
5:50.
No, seriously. Seriously, he texted me like 10 minutes ago that he was leaving Barstow, which means he should be getting home in the next like 5 minutes.
Vermilion's not that big.
No. Oh yeah, that was the other exciting thing that happened last week.
Yeah.
Two people popped into the live show for about 30 seconds.
But didn't stay.
No, definitely not. Oh, that's right. This is the first episode with Frank Sinatra Jr. when Brian is like an alcoholic hobo by the end.
I have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Me neither.
The episode of Family Guy that's on.
Oh. Jared, do you recall an episode of Family Guy where Peter was standing naked in a fountain? And a dolphin just came out of the fountain and flew away with Peter riding it?
No, I do not. But that's an amusing image in my head.
It's pretty amusing in GIF form, too. Just ask Dave. Dynamic event system.
What the fuck is that?
I know,
about?
right? That's gotta stop. Jared.
It's over now, I think. No, Kristen said she'd kill the TV once it got closer to when we're actually supposed to start.
It's Jeremy.
Is she
right?
gonna do homework?
Yeah, or something. Or poke around on the laptop. One or the other.
Dave?
Oh. Police officer pulling into the... Oh, no, he didn't. It was a trick. He looked like he was going to pull into the alley, and then he didn't. Look. I got a roar.
From who?
Oh, this one guy. So how was Barstow?
Translate what that means.
Agreed.
You are There you are.
Just a second. I gotta make sure my volume's right.
You sound good.
You sound good to me.
Jeremy, drive back to the course and then drive back home. It's like
I can't believe you started it, Dave, 3 minutes ago.
well, we still got 7 minutes before the actually starts.
You
Yeah.
can't finish the speed clear in 7 minutes.
Now would be the pee break / get a drink time of the show.
Hey, I've already pissed. I've already got something to drink. I'm doing my speed clear.
Aha! I can hear you now.
My iced tea is just about gone, so I gotta go pee and grab a
My
water.
water bottle's definitely empty.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Be right back.
Oh, by the way, Kane's going to be listening in. Because I've kidnapped him for the day.
Kinky.
Indeed.
I'm not certain how that's kinky.
Because Kane's a man.
And a man's not allowed to kidnap another man?
Never mind, Mel, went over your head.
No, it didn't. I assume they all have clothes on, which is the only reason I
No, they don't.
Dave, just because you're naked doesn't mean everyone else podcasts naked.
Well, they
Oh,
should.
but we do.
Okay, Jeremy, now that's weird, because you've got another man with you.
And I heard him in the background.
Dave, I have something in my eye.
Sorry.
None of that laughing bullshit.
Too late.
Stop it.
You're drawing on the fucking map. He's not doing a reverse. Get the fuck off.
Okay, we're gonna get rolling. Well, Nubnub's here now, so our
What's
actual...
circling?
Have you never played StarCraft?
Nope.
No, it was
It's
pretty
a
much
little
over.
bug-type alien.
It's where the term Zerg to Zerg something comes from.
I don't know what that is.
Why are we talking about StarCraft?
Because Mel asked what a Zergling is.
Oh.
Basically, a
This context
Zergling,
has nothing to do with the bug, I think.
Zergling, basically, it's the cheap creature for the Zerg. And they're created in groups of 2, and you can create them so fast that to Zerg something is create an ass ton of these Zerglings, and then just overrun them before they can really build up.
Okay.
Yeah. And most StarCraft players run that so they don't actually have to play the game.
Yep.
Oh, that's kind of lazy.
Yep.
Mhm.
Best line in this entire, out of anything I've read all day. Playing well means you fight standing up more often than lying down. Bitch, please, you haven't met me. Yeah.
Oh, dear God.
I'll be back.
I love Gold Peak iced tea. It tastes really, really good. Did Mel go AFK? Did I hear that?
I'm not sure.
I may have heard that. Her lack of a response suggests to me that I did hear that.
Indeed.
Ow!
Sorry. And the award for most exciting pre-show in all of podcasting goes to... No.
Hey man, I'm reading articles.
I understand.
I'm speed clearing.
I know. Dave didn't fully appreciate how not very long it would take you to finish and get from Barstow back to your house.
Right.
It'll be
Oh, by the
fun.
way, I finished at a -3.
You're gonna fucking crush me this weekend when we inevitably play somewhere.
We'll get him, Jeremy.
Okay, are we all here and besides Dave more or less ready to start?
I'm ready to start.
I'm reading. I should be able to get the first article done before we get to
Lol.
the first article.
This sounds familiar.
Just tell me when to mute my mic.
Yeah, now would
Right now.
be the time. Alright. 3, 2, 1. Ascendants of Ascalon is an explicit rated podcast. We let words like shit, fuck, and son of a bitch cross our lips. And our energy is so high this week. Twice as high as last week. It's Wednesday, March 28th, 2012. It's 7 p.m. and this is episode 4 of Ascendants of Ascalon. Hello and welcome to the Ascendants of Ascalon podcast, the only Guild Wars 2 podcast where you'll hear swearing, sex jokes, and other sorts of inappropriate for children types of things. And we've got the full crew back this week. First off, I'm a mistress of unexpected acts, and tonight I'll tell you all about them. It's Mel. How you doing, Mel?
I'm awesome sauce.
Next, I work and upkeep my house and play frisbee golf. What's this gaming thing? It's Jeremy.
You know, I actually wanted to get online a couple of times this week,
Liar.
and then I was like, so much shit to do.
Understandable, understandable. Next, soon I will have all the sweet-looking scythes. It's Dave. How you doing, Dave?
Hey, how's it going? I'm doing alright.
Is your speed clear over yet?
Lol.
No.
Working on it.
Didn't think so.
Very speedy.
And finally, because I didn't win the Mega Millions last night, I am Jared. But it's okay.
But you're
please.
Jared because you didn't win him?
Yep,
Even if
So-
you would have won the Mega
Right, then who would you
Millions,
be?
you would still be here.
that's so true.
But who would you be?
I might have undergone some sort of a
Lol,
Identity
sorry,
change.
immediately popped into my head.
In or around his mouth.
Okay. Now that has happened,
Oh, yes.
You can always count on me to bring it up. Everyone's
By-
thinking
by
it.
the
I'll
way-
say it.
I was gonna say it.
I just want to throw this out here. That's one of our Burger King jokes when we're getting angry at people, is to start imagining people finishing their statements with in or around my mouth.
Oh, okay.
that makes more sense. So Jeremy,
Still pretty fucked up.
tell us all about what you did in or around your house since Friday. And yeah, I'll try to work on the English language while you do that.
You know, well done. Well, you know, I've been trying to pick things up here and keep the dishes upkept and try to hang out with people and and you know, essentially with the nice-ish weather, trying to get out of the house at least once a day other than to go to work. But I mean, this week's been pretty busy. I actually worked quite a bit, and Monday night we had there was a track meet here in town, and Bellevue West decided to come through Burger King. 50 kids and their 5 coaches. Our store capacity is like 75, by the way. Busy week for me. Didn't even hardly have time to open the show notes, let alone read them.
Well, a short week will cause that problem too.
Yeah, that and procrastination.
So Mel, tell us.
I'm last on the list.
No, you are not.
Yes, I am.
There is no order to this. Tell us what you've been doing while procrastinating reading the show notes.
I've been busy this week, I know, which is a awesome change. Well, first of all, Dave and I have been doing a lot of screen sharing. I've been watching a lot of Speed Clear, Fissure of Woe. So I'm pretty much a professional. In fact, I come in and I say awesome, useful things, and Dave's like, "Oh, thanks." I'm like, "Hey, yeah, you're welcome." In between that, though, much to Dave's dismay, I have been working on my apartment. Very excited. So the beginning of the story is my coworker just bought this apartment building and the shop that goes down below it. Okay, so she's like, "Well, it has to be cleaned, whatever." I'm like, "Hey, I'm a great cleaner. I'll do it." So they're going to give me the first month's rent free if I go in and clean. They kind of warned me that beforehand that the person who was in there was, I'm not sure what the term was, but whatever word they used to describe the word filthy is not even remotely close. I don't know who you are, Keith Douglas, but you are the most disgusting person I have never met. Ever. His kitchen, every single thing on his countertop was just, there's garbage, there's like fried, there's food in the sink, there's pizza on the floor, all over. And his plumbing went out, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, instead of getting it fixed, the man pees into Mountain Dew bottles.
Oh my god.
And instead of throwing these out, like a human being would do, assuming he never peed into Mountain Dew bottles, he just closed the lid, threw them in his bathtub. So when I got up there, the bathtub was literally full of urine-filled Mountain Dew bottles. That's just the beginning. And then, of course, there's no... And then there are these 5-gallon buckets. And I'm like, I wonder what those are for. Yeah, okay, yeah, silly Melissa, I didn't get it. But yes, that is where he crapped in those buckets, apparently. But at least they were kind of clean, because I didn't immediately know it. The toilet is a complete mess. It has no water in it, but there's stains all over. There is dead flies all over the refrigerator. His bedroom had bugs and pizza and cigarette ashes combined, and the bugs were, like, burrowing into the carpet. And he had a cat. And he let this cat just go into the extra room and just pee all over, and there's cat poop all over, just on the carpet, stuck to the carpet. I couldn't even pull it up. So I go to my landlord and I said, "Please," I said, "no human being would ever live in here. You are replacing this carpet, or let me tear it up." So they let me tear it up. So I tore up all the carpet this week, and I tore off this god-awful, like, linoleum that they stuck to the back for the kitchen, and I'm going to put a black splash in. So I'm very excited. I'm getting my interior design on, and
nice.
yeah, so I'll be busy for the next couple of weeks, actually. I'm very excited. That's my story.
I've been itching for this story since Saturday night when you first teased it in Vent.
This is true, and the reason that I told you that I had to shower immediately before I even remotely did anything is because I was carrying the plastic bags filled with urine-filled Mountain Dew bottles, and it leaked on my legs. So I came home and washed myself in antibacterial soap all over.
So, what have you been doing in-game? Because you've been doing a few things.
Oh yeah, huh. I guess I forgot about that. I beat Factions. Woo, go me. I am halfway through Nightfall, I think. Good God, I have no idea how far through Nightfall I am. And Dave is helping me kick Prophecy's ass real quick, like, and then hopefully I'll be able to do cool shit with everybody else. Oh, and Eye of the North. Hey! Really? The Eye of the North cop, really?
You ruined my Fissure of Woe.
How did I ruin your Fissure of Woe?
Screen sharing Fissure of Woe all week.
Oh. Haha, I went first. That's what I've been doing.
All
On my
right.
rich list. Yeah, it's very exciting.
Indeed. So, Dave,
I got nothing to say.
tell us what else.
Oh, you
Come
mad?
on now. Tell us stuff and
Fissure
things.
of Woe, speed clears.
How much
Kind
got
of-
today?
I didn't get fucking anything today. I have not gotten jack shit except for horrible Terras that don't know how to run their fucking route, and having to go to the Tower of Strength to clean up behind them, adding 45 fucking minutes onto my speed clear runs.
Boo.
Well, Dave also got Celestial Shield today, which matches the Celestial Sword that he gave me. So now my Jorah has a complete set.
Why are you speed clearing Fissure of Woe?
Obsidian shards to sell, and goldens.
I thought maybe you were going to try to try again to do an armor set.
Oh, I am, but I'm making the money for it instead of collecting the mats. I don't know, it just seems more fun that way. I've also been working in the backyard. No shit, worms, dumbass. I know what the fuck to do. Why don't you mark them? I'm sorry, I'm in official voice speak clear at the moment, so...
Backyard.
What have you been doing outside, Dave?
Huh? Yes,
What
I've
have you
been
been doing
outside.
outside?
I've been working, attacking the woods from coming closer to the house.
Like a man with a machete. Do you have a machete?
I do have a machete. I have an orange
Yeah.
machete.
Oh, that kind of ruined it for me. I'm not gonna lie.
With a machete.
I think Mel's just mad.
Shut up, Dave.
Lovely
Mad?
Kelly.
No, no, not mad. Just having a machete fantasy over here. But it's not orange in my fantasy.
What's it, like black and obsidian looking or something?
Oh, it could be.
Or it could be celestial.
No,
Oh,
no,
no.
Dave wouldn't wield in
That's-
real life.
that's
Would
true.
not be wielding a purple sword.
That's true. Okay, so yeah, me. What have I been doing?
Not winning the lottery.
Not winning the lottery. I've been doing that. I'm going to continue doing that for Friday night
You do
because
so well.
$500 million almost is just too good of an opportunity to not spend $2.
So true. I'll share when I win on Friday.
You best.
Deal.
$100
Shoot
for
ball.
everybody. Wow.
Let's see. In game, I finished leveling my warrior to 20. Been working my way through Eye of the North on him. Catching low-hanging fruit, Seishin dailies when I see fit.
Refusing to try speed clears.
Refusing to try speed clears because they intimidate the fuck out of me. Let's see. Swearing at Steam because my save files on NBA 2K12 keep getting corrupted and crashing the game.
That's because it's basketball.
No, it's because it's Steam, actually, but regardless. Let's see, what else? Absorbing all the information from this past weekend's beta event.
Absorbing all the information.
All the information. And with that, we'll close out that exciting, riveting... What have you been doing
Shut up,
this
mine was
week?
riveting.
Yours was riveting.
Piss, spume.
That excrement-filled segment, and we'll move right into the news. The first news item I have here is one of the first articles that Guild Wars Insider put out regarding the dynamic event system, kind of just a primer as far as how it's going to work. So what did you guys take out of this article?
It looks really nice. I mean, honestly, and one of the things that I like most about any other news that's come out about this is that there's going to be no such thing as a high level going back to farm a low level zone. Because guess what, kids? When you go into that low level zone, you're going to be low level again.
Only slightly cooler.
Only
Yeah, because
slightly.
you'll have the bonus traits and everything, and you'll have slightly more health, but you still scale down to the same level.
Yeah. You're still going to get hit as hard as you did. Your health pool is not going to be as high as it was. Well, not as high as it is. I'm not sure. Anyway, you know, you're just straight up not going to be as powerful as you think you are.
Silence. I didn't like the article. It didn't really say much to me that hasn't already been said.
Agreed.
Like, it looked like he was just rubbing the fact that he got the beta and is allowed to talk about it in everyone's face.
It's true.
It sounds like a lot of people kind of expect great things on the dynamic events, and my understanding is that they're not maybe dynamic. I don't know. They're not as epic, I guess, as people are expecting them to be. Like, I guess in the article he talks about his farm changing, you know, and people are kind of thinking that the whole world is going to change, and it will, but it's not. You know, 1 minute it's like Deathwing kind of came through and scorched everything. It's not going to be that drastic.
Right, and it's not going to affect that large of an area. I mean, that's kind of the thing about the dynamic event system is it's the centaurs are going to invade this village, and you can either push them back or the centaurs take over the village, and then you have to do something, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be, besides the meta events that were talked about a few weeks ago, most of this stuff's going to be so much, it's going to be a smaller area that's affected, and I just think maybe people had the wrong impression.
Yeah, I think so too. Some people were kind of harping on it, saying, that it was really hyped up, and then it just wasn't what they thought it was going to be, but...
It's like, well, what the hell did you think it was going to be? Like,
Deathwing.
One minute it's all green and sunny, and the next minute everything's dead, and there's, swirling black clouds overhead.
Yeah, pretty much I think so. That's
Like-
kind of what everyone expected.
Like post-Searing Ascalon? What?
Right.
Kinda.
Yeah, except for instantaneous instead of having a cutscene.
True.
It's like, no, it's not going to be. It's a big deal for whoever you're doing the dynamic event for, but it's not a big deal to the zone what's going on.
Right, like, I know one event that Total Biscuit put out a video on, like, really late on Monday or early Tuesday. I don't remember when it came out, but I just remember watching it yesterday. The event involved escorting this char around while he found a new devourer egg because his pet devourer named Gur was killed in a centaur attack. And anyway, at the end of the event, and this was something I thought really well done by the writers at ANET, once you get the right egg that he wants, he's like, "Oh, this is perfect. I shall name this devourer Gur." I mean, it's got the kind of a comic element to it, and it also allows the event to loop as necessary.
Yeah, and that was another thing I noticed. It was actually in TV's podcast about how they loop. I mean, some of them in the beta are looping too fast, but the fact is, a different player can come in after the event's finished and start it.
Right, because otherwise, I mean, you're not going to be able to grow your game if 3 months into the game, new players going through starting zones can't do anything besides grind on mobs because all the events are completed.
Exactly.
Well, and it's not like, that there's quest givers and NPCs, that no matter what your choices are during the dynamic event, whether, centaurs succeed in taking over the village or whatnot, that there's always going to be a new event for you to partake in, no matter the outcome of the other one.
Right.
So it's not like something's going to come through and kill your quest guys and now you're just fucked.
Yeah. Well, and
unlike Kurzik and Luxon area right now, where the Luxons own 90% of factions.
Thanks for reminding me. I'm not bitter.
No, not at all. Alright, so I'll go ahead and move on to the next item here. Also coming from Guild Wars Insider, a crafting and transmutation primer. And this was something that massively kind of touched on a little bit after the first beta weekend, but it was nice to see a little bit more depth to it this time. As far as
I haven't watched this video yet, and I'm kind of excited about doing that.
But the fact that, like, salvaging, a kind of key element to gathering weapon mods and crafting materials in Guild Wars 1 is still in the game. I thought that was neat how they're...
I like how they added gathering. Crafting's sort of been in there. I mean, you have to go to a crafting NPC, but crafting was, I guess, technically in Guild Wars 1, but gathering, no. So what could you gather? Red iris flowers. And they mentioned that in the article, but they served exactly no purpose.
This guy just tapped on a tree.
Gwen.
Yeah.
Yeah, except for Gwen, but...
Well, and it's one of the items Nicholas Sanford collects in Pre-Searing Ascalon, too.
Yeah,
True.
That's once every blue moon.
Yeah.
And plus, anyone that had any brains for that would have just gone behind Eye of the North to that little garden that Gwen has, and there's like 15 of them.
Fair enough.
True,
I'm super
but
excited.
you couldn't get them back to pre-searing.
For Nicholas Traveler? Yeah, you can put him in the online
No,
shows.
no, Nicholas Sanford. Yeah,
Oh, before he was
for
a
the Gift
Traveler.
of the Huntsman in pre-series.
Anyway, back to Gathering. I'm really excited about Gathering. This guy just totally chopped down a tree.
Nice.
Kind of excited to go chop down me some trees. And of course, the veins, you know, and the ores and stuff. Everyone can. Hello, phone. Hold on.
Turn that bitch off.
Shut your mouth.
Somebody shut my mouth.
Well, I'm going to talk about transmutation because that's something I thought was is a really good play by ArenaNet on this. You know, basically letting people keep the gear and weapons they like and transfer that appearance onto newer gear.
As long as it's the same type.
Yeah. I have a feeling a lot of thunder is being stolen from that since WoW and Blizzard saw ANET doing that, or talking about implementing that well over a year ago. And they've already implemented it and did a terrifying job of it.
Yeah.
Isn't it the truth, though?
I mean, really, I have to wonder, as long as ANET's taking, how many other games are going to reap the benefits of what they're doing? Because other games are putting it in there faster and getting games out.
It's true.
And for Gathering, that's nothing new. That's going to be a grind. You cannot make Gathering not be a grind. If you want mass amounts of materials, you're going to have to grind and farm it.
That's very true.
That'll never change, and I think people realize that. Although it'll be a little different because people won't be able to steal your gathering.
Everyone shares, or the node is up for everyone. There could be 100 people farming the same node at one time.
I'm going to be an expert crafter, right along with an expert dodge roller. I am. You could just mix and match and kind of make all bunches of cool stuff. And I used to be, shut up, dog, like a profession leveler. So I'm pretty excited to implement this in Guild Wars too. If you guys need anything, just come let me know. I'll make you something.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be an engineer, so I'm pretty sure I'm just doing leatherworking. So you guys are all fucked. All you casters, you're effed.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, haha, caster.
I'll be wearing plate armor anyway.
Oh yeah, you're screwed too. Sorry, Dave. Sorry. Guess I'm just doing this for myself.
Yep. So yeah, we kind of touched on this a little bit. Total Biscuit actually got to play in this beta weekend instead of being lame and being in Finland. And he came out pretty much straight away after the embargo was lifted on Monday and put together a little audio blog, which he actually later released on his YouTube channel in vlog format, but just kind of detailing his thoughts on the state of the game right now. And I actually thought it was pretty positive.
Yep. I did like how he thrashed on the people that said it was all button mashing.
Well, that's the people spamming their one skill.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he was like, the only thing that would mean you're button mashing is if you're not playing the game right. Have a nice day.
Or if there's like 50 people in the zone and you don't need to play with any skill.
Right.
Well, I would still anyways, because if you're in a dynamic event, the shit's going to scale.
Right.
So you're still going to have to play intelligently. You can't just face roll everything.
Apparently they haven't fixed some of the dynamic events to scale with too many people. So if you get past a certain number, you can just kind of steamroll it.
But I feel like that's something they'll fix by launch. I mean, especially considering after the 10th, there's going to be a lot more people in the beta events, and they're going to be able to kind of at least get an idea of what the game's going to be like on launch, so they actually have numbers to determine how they need to scale these events. As far as on the high end, at the very least.
Yeah, dynamic events at the beginning, like on launch day, are going to be ridiculous.
Oh, absolutely.
Ridiculous might be an understatement.
I mean, if it scales to everybody, you're going to have, like, end game, which I understand there is no end game per se, but I always think of end game as like at level 80, like end game bosses that are going to be easier than these dynamic events because there's so many people there.
The dungeon bosses, you mean?
That's what I meant. I knew what I meant.
But at the same time, those dungeon bosses are going to be tuned for 5 people, as opposed to 200 that theoretically could be doing a any dynamic event at any given time, just to throw a number out there.
That was, are you joking me? 200?
Well, one would presume they're going to have a fair number of servers on launch.
That's true. How are servers going to work? It's going to be like WoW where you pick your server and...
No.
Sort of. It's...
You pick your home server and you can go to any other server to visit and play. However, if you go to another server to visit and play with friends or whatever on that server, you do not get the buffs that they have won, that their server has won in the Mist. You can change your home server. I'm not sure if it's you pay to change it or if you... I do know they said you can only change your home server once every so often.
Right. And they
to
have
keep people from jumping for buffs from the Mist.
Right, and that's something they haven't announced if there's going to be any cost associated with that. But I mean, I think the way I feel about it, it's like especially if there's no cost to it and they just put a cooldown on you as far as when you can change again or however long it can be until you get into World v World. It's a nice hybrid of how Guild Wars 1 works and then how like a game like World of Warcraft works, where there's just a ton of individualized servers. But yet, I mean, the visiting mechanic I think is the best part of that. So if for some reason one of us derps and picks the wrong server on launch, we can still play with each other.
Giggle.
Let's talk about the down mechanic before that goes any further.
Before we really start discussing this, I want to read out my favorite line in this whole article.
Oh shit, do you have one too?
As heroic as it may seem to run around the battlefield shirtless, it's not as effective as Hollywood would make you believe.
Man, some bullshit.
Was that yours too?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
In fact, I think I closed mine out, but I know I can't find it.
So,
go ahead.
But I closed them, otherwise I'd just have a bajillion tabs open.
So GWOnline.net posted a nice little article on the death mechanic, and I think what I took out of this was actually right in the opening kind of thing. Trust me when I say this, you will die a lot, and you will love it. And what that says to me is that even in this kind of middling stage of the beta, the down mechanic is... It's so much better than, like, for example, in Guild Wars 1 right now. If I'm running a hard mode mission with my 7 heroes, I run with a UA monk, and if I die, it's just, and then UA gets clicked off by the hero, and I pop up 20 feet away, and I have no idea what the hell happened. Whereas in Guild Wars 2, if something nukes the hell out of me, I know because, oh look, I'm in downstate, now I can try to get myself off my ass.
What if they said about being in downstate is like a melee and you're fighting someone like a ranger with a longbow that's out of your range?
I don't know that I've actually heard anything.
Well, in that case, generally the third button, I think it's the third button, is your start getting up button.
And that's
and you just start spamming it.
Yeah, that'd be 4. But if there's, I mean, assuming like a ranger or something with a longbow, they're probably still going to be attacking you unless there's other shit going on.
I mean, their pet's going to be on you, and they're going to be on you. I just don't see how you can get up, or an elementalist nuking the hell out of you from way out of range.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about the other classes. I know everyone should just roll an engineer because they have the grapple line ability. It's a downed ability that pulls target foe to you while you're downed. So it's relevant for them, so everyone should just be an engineer. What?
Like the Necro, I know they have, like, 2 of theirs are AoE and ranged, so they're fine with it. But for something like the Warrior or the Guardian or any of them, I'd like to see that
And you really can't spam your channeled heal button because there's a pretty lengthy cooldown on it. So if it gets interrupted,
Yeah, it's basically something you can hit once and then
Maybe
pray to
twice,
God
but-
that someone leaves you, that they leave you alone.
yeah. And there is diminishing return on being downed. Is that correct? Like, the more times that you are downed consecutively.
Right, like if you get downed and then you get back up and then like shortly, like basically the longer you're up after getting back up, the less the diminishing return is. But like if you're just getting your ass kicked by somebody, yeah, eventually you're just gonna go straight to defeated
Right.
and have to res at a waypoint.
So that's how they implemented death penalty in Guild Wars 2.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a time though, like, okay, in Guild Wars 1, you get up, you have 14 seconds to die again without taking death penalty.
Mhm.
I mean, if there's like 50 people around you and you're able to get up and you're instantly killed, does that build up on the diminishing returns? We're going to coin that term until they come up with their own term.
Right.
Agreed.
I believe so, but I feel like there's probably going to be some sort of grace period, but they haven't necessarily said that explicitly.
And also, does anyone feel like this down system is a upgraded version of the Gears of War down system with added utility?
See, having only ever watched anybody play Gears of War, and they were really good at it, I never saw that down mechanic.
Jeremy's got one up on me. I've only heard people talk about Gears.
You scared the hell out of me. Literally. I couldn't. It was scary.
It is not scary.
Okay, the part where you are in your little vehicle and you're like at the Top Gunner, you're not driving. Okay, maybe I was player 2, whatever. And everything is dark around you, and then all of a sudden she just comes out of the darkness. I literally screamed.
You
I'm
get to
such a
shine the
girl.
light at them.
Yeah, well, I'm a bad light shiner apparently.
Well,
I am such a girl. I'm such a sissy sometimes, I swear. It was terrifying. I think I had nightmares about that game. Fuck you, Gears of War. Fuck
That's
you.
like people saying Walking Dead's scary.
Walking Dead is scary. I had nightmares. I heard zombies nomming on a horse after I watched that first episode, okay?
Yeah.
They make a really terrifying sound. Oh, jeez. Thanks, Dave.
You're welcome. You love the fucking show, so...
Well, yeah, it's good, but... Dang, those walkers are so fantastic. Which brings us back to death.
It does. Any final...
Nonsense. No, I just kind of want to keep talking about it. I like it. I like the question and answer period, where since I don't read the articles, I just ask you guys questions and you answer them.
A clever ploy. A clever ploy.
I know, right? See, it works out really great. I just like this guy. It looks like the rest of it, he was in a dungeon and the rest of his team was dead, and he killed his boss from a down state. That's cool. That is cool. Which then reses him, am I correct? And then he can go res everybody
Right,
else.
yeah, if you kill somebody while you're in a down state, then...
But not if you're
You
dead.
immediately rally?
Yeah.
Nice.
But not if you're dead. If you're dead, you're...
Yeah, if you're dead, you're dead. You can't do shit. You have to...
You either gotta res at a waypoint or have somebody resurrect.
Right.
Is the death penalty as severe as it was in Guild Wars?
No. That basically there's the downed and defeated state, and if you get defeated, your armor takes some durability damage.
Okay.
But according to this article, not too much. Unless you're not paying attention.
Right, unless you're getting slaughtered repeatedly by something.
Right, like I'm gonna go into a dungeon and come out naked. Oh. I know, right?
And the internet will rejoice.
Then it will be really awkward and I'll have to do the walk of shame back to town.
If you ever watched the walking around, the tours of the towns in Guild Wars 2, you'll notice that if you jump off any of the buildings and your armor's damaged, you can break your armor in town and it'll go in your inventory and you'll have to go get it repaired. You'll be walking around town naked. I believe it is the tour of the Holbrack, the Norn city / not city, because Norn don't have cities.
The big Norn village.
Yeah.
The Norn convention area.
Anyway.
Alright, so next on our list here, Gamebreaker TV put out a post featuring the 6 reasons why Guild Wars 2 will live up to the hype. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and read off the 6 reasons, and then we'll kind of go back and talk about it. So reason 1, don't go in there, referring to dungeons. Reason 2, obsessive combustive disorder, regarding crafting and other trade skills. Reason 3, invaders, World v World. Reason 4, where does he get all those wonderful toys? Weapon switching in combat. Reason 5, personal story, and reason 6, the dynamic events.
Sorry, I haven't read this article yet, so that was
So,
brilliant.
I mean, what among those do you guys feel is the number 1 reason Guild Wars 2 is going to live up to the hype?
Oh,
World
the
v World.
Between the dungeons and the World v World, they're kind of balanced there, because the dungeons are going to appeal to the hardcore PvE players, and World v World is going to really appeal to hardcore PvPers. I think between the two of them, you know, that's going to be just freaking fantastic.
See, I would actually disagree with you on hardcore PvPers being super into World v World. I feel like
I want to do structure too,
yeah.
but World v World will give them a nice break from that if they're getting tired of slaughtering people in small numbers.
I feel like World v World's going to be the more casual PvP, something that like you or I, who aren't really that good at PvP, can go in and be like, bitch please, we're going to go take us a castle.
Well, no, I'm not sure, because they've talked about guilds being a major force in Guild Wars 2, and if they do it like Guild Wars 1, then a powerful guild can own the outpost in Guild Wars 2, and by outpost I mean your section of the Mists. And high-end guilds will set up patrols on that. They'll recruit people that are in different time zones so that there's always someone defending. And yet the World v World is going to fill up with casuals, but it's going to be controlled by the more hardcore players.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Dave? What's your top reason Guild Wars 2 is going to be awesome?
Dynamic events. The casual person's always bitching that they can't do anything. The casual people's what's going to make up about 80% of the population. They're going to have their shit.
True.
See,
I didn't even think of it that way.
I'm on the fence between dungeons and personal story. Just because I think personal story is also going to appeal to those casual players, because they can treat it like a single player game. In some regards, in re-rolling alts, whether it just be, I'm going to roll 6 elementalists, each one a different race with a slightly different twist on their personal story, and just play this, I mean, not unlike a lot of people have done with Star Wars, where they've just been like, oh, I'm going to buy this and sub until I get a character to level 50, and then, okay, this is fun, goodbye, I'm going to play this like, you know.
Do you really think that personal story is going to have that big of an impact in gameplay?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They've already said there's they put it like if you have a group of people that all took different paths, you still wouldn't see all of the personal story arcs.
Well, I know that in the one video that I watched, whoever you select, I think is it the Char, that you select a sparring partner at the beginning. He does a mission with you or something later on. He appears in a quest line as like an ally. I could be making that up. Mostly I'm not, but that's someone. So I mean, I understand how that impacts it, but you know, the overall storyline, it can't do too much. So if you're just, I guess, I don't know. Well, I don't know how it's going to work. I want to play.
That's really what it boils down to. I mean, all this talk is speculation, and it can become concrete once we're in the game and checking shit out.
Yeah. Whenever that is.
I suspect about this time next month.
My poor computer, I don't know if I could take it. It'll be okay.
It'll be okay, Melissa's computer.
You can run Guild Wars 1, Guild Wars 2, and World of Warcraft. You can do it.
Yeah. Just not all at the same time.
Install WoW. That's true.
It's probably going to be saying shit monks to itself.
Shit monks! Dave. Dave did that yesterday. He's like, oh, shit monks! In the middle of his And I just laugh, and I'm like, chipmunks. It was, like, maybe you had to be there, but it was freaking hilarious.
Little backstory behind that. I was in the Fissure of Woe, and a path of 6 of the skeletals in the battlefield came in, and they had 2 monks, and I was almost finished killing the group. The other spiker was dead, and I'm just like, shit, monks, and I death charged over
There was definitely no pause. It was shit monks. It was one word, no space, no pause.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun.
So, about things that don't pause. Like any intelligent person in combat, they should be dodging, not
Dodge
pausing.
rolling.
Now
So-
to become a pro, just gonna practice.
Yet another
Best dodge roller.
Yet another nice little breakdown by Guild Wars Insider's Beliasta, this time talking about the dodge mechanic, and really breaking down how it's going to work, how dodge affects you as a player, and just how vital it's going to be to know the proper time to dodge, as opposed to using it as a short-term speed boost.
So it's gonna be me, and then I'm gonna have to actually dodge, and oh shit, I'm out of endurance. Well, it's not my fault that everyone else is like, oh, we know the way, and then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, where'd everyone go? And I gotta catch up. And then
That's
Dave's got a
true.
speed boof, and I don't.
Speed boof.
You
inside term that you missed.
I
you
also had word vomit, and someone's haven't let her live it down for about a week now.
Nice.
It's like 3 days.
yeah.
Shut your fucking mouth, Dave.
it-
Call me bitch one more time, I dare you.
It definitely did happen this past weekend, though.
Le Bouch.
Whatever, it's Wednesday. It's close enough. We round up around here.
Some more than others.
So dodging. Any real thoughts on this breakdown, or should we just move on?
Well,
Honestly,
Yeah, let's talk about dodging.
no. Go ahead, Jeremy.
it does look like it's going to be an important mechanic that people are going to have to work on, that they're going to suck at first.
I
Like
probably-
me, I'm going to be a terrible
I'm sure
dodger.
I'll have issues with it at first, but, you know, we're all fairly experienced gamers. It will take to it in maybe not a short amount of time, but a fairly short amount.
See, internet.
Whereas other newer players, even they'll get it down. I mean, it's simple. You see something that's going to hurt you, you hit the dodge button.
See, internet. What this is code for is we're not bad, or at least we like to think we're not bad.
We're
We
not
sure do
bad,
like to
but
think
not,
we are.
but we're not bad, but we're not epic, except for Dave.
Dave's pretty epic.
Dave is pretty epic.
But we gotta stop telling him it's epic, or it's all gonna go to his head.
It already does.
I know.
We don't have to tell him, he tells himself.
I don't think dodging is going to be a big thing in dungeons, especially if you get people
What?
that. Let me finish talking. Like right now, I'm doing a 3rd Fissure of Woe clear since this has started. These people have set up speed runs. I think that for the most part, the hardcore PvEers are going to be able to go into dungeons, and their group is going to do positional strategies and such, so say the Elementalist doesn't have to stop the dodge. They're going to make walls with the players. They're going to do something that makes it easier on the rest of the group to nuke shit down.
True.
I think so too, but with the random aggro that everything seems to have, since there is no tank and everything, I don't think you're going to be able to stand in one spot, because you just never know when something's going to come your way that you need
Well,
to get.
But you're going to be able to cast and move, so...
Yes.
Plus, look at the dungeons that we have seen. They're very narrow, especially the Catacombs of Ascalon. You can fit 2 people in between the wall there and body block everything between those 2 people. And then 3 people can be nuking shit down.
True. It'll take a while to, you know,
The
get
lovers is
used
going to
to
suck.
get used to a certain model of how to do a dungeon. You know, a couple of well-armored and experienced damage soakers, a good healer, and a couple, well, not so much healer, but a support class that
Right.
can help them stay alive for longer. Not
Yeah,
so much
I see.
skill,
I see a Water Elementalist being required for a possible setup speed clear of Guild Wars 2 dungeons, because there is a ridiculous amount of traits that lend itself to healing.
And the same thing
But
for
everyone has them.
Guardian.
I know, but the water elementalist has a whole fuck ton more.
Wow.
I beg to differ.
I will build the water elementalist Atraluga thing and show you.
Okay, please do. I think on dodge rolling, another important element to bring up is the fact that while you are dodging, you are invulnerable, and I don't think that there's going to be any substitute for that. There's just going to be some cases you just need to be immune to everything. And that's where your dodge roll is going to come in handy.
Right.
And get the hell out of that big AoE.
Mm-hmm. When do I dodge?
While Dave's looking that up.
Oh no, I'm building it right
He's
now.
speed
I'm in the middle of the speed
you know
clear.
what I mean. Okay. Well, in any case, I think we've pretty much beat that one into the ground, host.
Righto. So our last article here is actually something from PC Gamer, ArenaNet's president talking microtransactions and how ANET really has put all their eggs in one basket with Guild Wars 2, but they did the same thing with Guild Wars in this whole buy the box, you can play forever ad nauseum, but there's also microtransactions involved, and kind of why it's risky, but also why it's worked for them.
Now, this was definitely an interesting article, and he makes a good point. It's like, since people have seen Guild Wars be fairly successful at this model, we're seeing more and more free-to-play MMOs coming out. Some of them are crap, some of them are pretty good. I've played quite a few. But the fact is that now, ArenaNet with Guild Wars, where they had hardly any competition in the free-to-play market, they now have quite a bit of competition coming in, and that's where their challenge is going to be.
Definitely. Mel?
I'm about sick of hearing about microtransactions, to be honest.
I understand, I do. We kind of beat it to death 2 weeks ago.
You know, we pretty much did, and there's so much anger and hostility going around about it. I just don't think it's going to be as bad as everyone thinks it's going to be. I mean, everyone that wants to spend money on it can spend money on it. Sigh.
Yeah, ideally, I'm going to spend 10, 15 hours a week in the game getting the same things that bitches that play 3 hours a week spend $10 on.
Right. And I don't know. I mean, I think on what Jeremy was saying about everything, a lot of things being free to play, I think that's one of the reasons that. Well, first of all, I'd like to make this point that I think World of Warcraft is killing itself.
Yeah.
Everyone is like, "Woo, Guild Wars is going to kill it." No, I think it's killing itself.
Yeah.
And I think being free to play is one of the things that is why Blizzard and World of Warcraft is killing itself. And no one wants to pay $15 anymore when you've got a game like Guild Wars 2 coming out, where you just pay for the game about as much as you would, drop on an Xbox or on a 360 game.
Right.
And you've got everything. And so people are more likely to just throw their money at other things for the little piddly shit that no one really cares about.
Yeah.
And I approve of that. Go for it. Make your money however you need to. But don't charge me a monthly subscription fee.
For real.
Exactly.
Dave?
In Guild Wars 1, the microtransaction market was an afterthought. They've already said that. In Guild Wars 2, it actually had time to be planned out and be integrated into the game. I want to see more of what's going to be in there, and if there are any restrictions, like area locations on when you can use the items, like say you can't use them in Worldy World. Yeah, stuff like that. Maybe not so broad, but yeah. Roughly translated to that.
This item can only be used in dungeons. This item can only be used.
Yes, like that.
Outside of World v. World. Things like that.
Yeah. Which I feel like they've got a history of being smart with things like that.
They do. They keep quite a few of the more powerful consumables away from PvP. Like, the concepts, yeah, people complain that they have to have them for major dungeon runs, but fact is, you can use them for dungeons, but you can't use them for PvP. Because that would give some people an unfair advantage.
Now, explain to our listeners and to me what the hell a con set is.
A con set is a set of 4 items that each... Well, I count the Scroll of Resurrection. So, well, okay. 3 items then. That a group... It's best if each person has one so that you can refresh them indefinitely, but... let's see here. There's the Essence of Celatry, the...
Grail of Might and Armor of Salvation.
And Armor of Salvation, yep.
I've got them on me right now.
I was just going to say, Dave, spit it out.
Because I know in essence what they do, but I don't know the exact description, so go for it.
That's why I was trying to take it over. Okay, a con set is a group of those 3 consumables. Armor of Salvation, Essence of Celerity, and Grail of Might. Grail of Might gives you a health buff, and an energy buff, and a health regen buff. So it's all about health and performance. All that fun shit. Okay.
It's like Viagra.
Good on that one. Armor of Salvation gives you immunity to 50% of the critical hits that you would take. If my buffs quit moving, I could read the other ones off to you. It also gives you plus 10 armor, health regen, and damage dealt to you is reduced by 5 minutes. And Essence of Celerity. You receive... No, that's not Essence of Celerity. You move and attack 20% faster, and skill activation and recharge times are reduced by 20%. Basically, it makes you a very, very effective, badass PvE person.
Yep.
Okay.
And in fact, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Dave, but I'm pretty sure that concepts are the next thing to require to kill some bosses like Doom, for instance.
Yeah. Speed clears pretty much all require consets. Some of them require 2 consets in one clear, just because of the time that it takes. An experienced Underworld team can do it in 1 conset time, which is 30 minutes, by the way.
Yep.
And unexperienced team may take 2 or more, depending on just how bad shit gets. And that'll get expensive.
Lately, Dave's Fissure of Woe teams have needed like 3.
Well, we've only used 1, and whenever they fall off, we're just trucking it the old-fashioned way. And, I mean, they've been successful, just slow. They haven't been speed clears, they've just been clears.
Well, we'll save that for the rant. My apologies.
Yeah.
Which is coming up shortly, isn't it?
It is. Anything else on microtransactions and why Guild Wars 2 is better off without a sub?
Yeah, I don't want to pay a company a monthly fee. It feels like a bill. I feel obligated to play whenever I pay
Exactly.
Yep.
Right. I feel like, oh, Jared, this is just like the lottery. It's exactly like the lottery. People that want to waste their money on things like the lottery, go right ahead.
That might make them better at making money.
Right? Like, okay, I live in South Dakota. We're big on video lottery.
For real.
And that's how we make up a lot of our income tax. We don't have state income tax. So we just tax the shit out of video lottery. And that's great, people. If you want to throw your money into video lottery to make it so that I don't have to pay income tax, fucking fantastic. That's how I feel about this.
I agree.
If you guys want to buy stuff and support ANET so that they don't charge subscription fee, fucking fantastic.
Do it.
Yep. That's how I feel.
Right after Le Bouffe.
Right after the woofs.
Alright.
See, it's catching on. Fuck me.
It just rolls off the tongue.
That's how it happened.
It really is. So that wraps up the news, so we will go ahead and move on into Dave raving about the Fissure of Woe.
Not necessarily the Fissure of Woe, any speed clear in general. People, seriously. Groups do not know top-of-the-line guild run setups. They don't know T4 Fissure of Woe clears. They don't know T3 Fissure of Woe clears. They know 2 Terras and a main team. Do not try and put a fucking pug together to do a run that you probably can't even comprehend when you're setting the group up. Just, no. it's not going to work. It made me so angry. I've had so many groups try and do that the past couple days, and it's pissing me off.
One thing I've noticed while watching Dave's speed clears is that yesterday he was in a group, and a lot of them were guildies. But then they also took some random pugs in, and they tried to perform things that would normally be reserved for while they're with their guildies, which one of them is reverse around the tower. And I watched this 3 separate times, and every single time at the same tower they failed pulling the group around, and that's why it failed, I don't know. But we're going to blame it on the pugs, because everyone knows you can blame it on the pugs.
Absolutely.
And I think that if it was all gilded and everyone knew what was going on, that'd be great. You know, go ahead and try all that shit. But when you're bringing in outside people, why are you trying to pull something that's more difficult? Why don't just get it done quick and dirty and be done with it?
For real.
Quick and dirty.
Quick and dirty. Sorry, I had to rave on your raves, Dave. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Please, everyone, this is the rage time.
It's true. This is all caps rage section.
But it's Dave's rave, so I guess Dave just gets to pick the raving topic.
Hey, Jared, can we change the title to Dave's All Caps Rage?
That doesn't rhyme. It isn't so snappy and beautiful.
That's so true.
So, I'm gonna go on a slight divergence from this. Fuck Young Heroes Eteria. Fuck it in the
What?
goddamn ass.
It's a
Hey.
book. It's another one of the books.
Guild
I
Wars books?
hate it
Yes.
so much.
Not Guild Wars 2.
I could probably, I know, and so did Dave. You both were like, why are you wasting your time? Fill out a regular fucking campaign book. But no, I being me, I'm like, no, I could do this, it'll be fine. Yeah, I gave up at 7 pages and was like, fuck this bullshit, I'm done. I'm turning it in, getting what I can, I'm out.
Yep.
I'd like to rave about nails at work when they stick out of places and then I cut myself on them. That's what I want to rage about. It hurts so
That's
bad.
not.
I
that's
totally
not
thought you
game
said
related.
nails, by the way.
No, nails.
And I was like,
Sharp metal
nails
pointy things.
hanging out of things and you cutting yourself up?
Okay, it's game related because I have injured my gaming hand, which is completely unacceptable.
Agreed.
As
I
long
have
as you haven't injured your fapping hand.
It is my fapping hand.
Oh my.
It's all the same hand.
Guess you're gonna have to have a stranger in the house.
Stranger danger.
Oh god. And we've gone off the rails.
Also, Dave, high five.
What? Why didn't I get one?
There you go.
Thank you.
Stop tapping, Dave. Damn.
That was an high five.
Alright. So, now that we've made bad jokes and completely destroyed the anger, let's move on to the discussion topic.
It's true, it is difficult to be angry while talking about fapping.
Indeed. So, what was your favorite Guild Wars 1 zone and why? And we'll start with Mel, because it's all fresh in your memory.
Hi, you know, I was just thinking that. I'm so excited that I can participate in this conversation. I loved the Ascalon quests, and hence their little area. It also really helps that I'm like rank 5, which I'm pretty sure is not too clumsy, so I get the little buff whenever I'm in Ascalon territory, so that's kind of handy. And you know, since I'm not in game, I really can't tell you the name of the zones.
That's okay.
But
Riven Earth,
yeah.
Alaska, Tangle,
Everything around
and
Radisson.
Megastones.
Something like that, yeah.
I like it. It's so very jungly. Is that where I can walk by where the Silvari tree is? The pale tree?
Yes.
See? It's just awesome. Epic area. I approve. It's the Molesta seal of approval, which is similar to the Pedo Bear stamp of approval. Less creepy.
Alright, Jeremy, why don't you go next?
My favorite zone is actually also in the Asura area.
Yeah.
It's Riven Earth. There's actually a couple of really awesome landmarks out there. There's this waterfall where there's 4 stone heads right beside a rope bridge. That's one of my favorite spots. And then if you get onto one of the edges of the zone, you can look out and there's these floating rocks creating like a stone bridge. I'm not really sure if you can actually cross it or not. I've never tried, but not only is it just a beautiful zone, but there's some pretty badass mobs out there too.
Now that I'm running 100 blades on my warrior, I like playing with the packs of raptors.
I
Are you
like
killing
running with
raptor
people. You play with
nestlings?
them.
What was that, Jeremy?
Are you killing raptor nestlings?
No, not yet.
Ah.
But
Oh
he
yeah,
has
that's
warrior
also the
himself.
zone where the nestlings are.
Yeah, it is.
They drop dye.
I got some white dye today, by the way.
I got some white dye doing Kilroy Stoneskin's Punch Out mission.
That's fun.
Can I
Also,
have it?
I would
Perhaps.
just like to throw this out there. Of all of the mobs in the Asuran zones, the Angorodons are my
Are
least favorite.
bitches.
Uh-huh.
Agreed.
Agreed.
I would like them to just go extinct.
Right? They see my spirits and they're like, oh, I bet that tastes good. No, I'm
Yup.
gonna two-shot my spirits. Really? It's on a 30-second cooldown, you asshole.
Yeah, they're not very fun to fight.
Nor is a melee, because they have a
Yeah.
health steal every time you use a melee attack.
They
I'm
do.
a dervish. I attack 3 times.
I'm a warrior with 100 blades. I also attack 3 times.
I guess I've
Usually in
done
an
it
AoE.
Yeah.
So Dave,
My spirits, and I don't even auto-attack sometimes.
I have an inkling we may have picked the same zone, but go ahead.
Why don't you do yours first?
Drakkar Lake is my choice. Ironic that we all so far have chosen Eye of the North zones. But there's 2 features of Drakkar Lake that I absolutely love. One of them Dave showed to me when I just started poking around Eye of the North on my Mesmer. And that was the dragon frozen underneath the lake.
That is pretty cool, isn't
What?
it?
I haven't seen this.
Well, I will show you at some point this evening.
Okay, thanks.
It's pretty awesome to look at. There's also these fucking scythe-wielding ghost Jinn. That's
Yep,
what they are.
Jin.
Rolling around there. So
Oh, that's where you capture Onslaught, by the way.
yeah. There's something else you cap out there too, but I don't remember what.
Well, I can tell you.
That's where the rabbit hole's at, isn't it?
That's actually the other feature I like about Drakkar Lake. Not so much fighting Nolstafu Earthbound and all of his fucking buddies, but I do love going down the rabbit hole, even though now I know completely what I'm walking into. And Mel got to experience that in hard
I
mode
did.
with me the other day.
And it was fun, and I didn't know what was. No one explains this stuff to me. They're like, "Oh, come on, it'll be fine. I'll run you through it real quick." Okay, sure. We're going down the rabbit hole. This sounds fun. Am I chasing this rabbit? Okay. All of a sudden, there's just a crap ton of people, bad
Yeah.
guys, and they're trying to eat me, and I'm like, "No." And Jared's like, "Run." And I'm like, "Run where? All I see is red everywhere." No one told me. Bitches.
Yeah, you cap Lissa Zora from Nolstafu Earthbound, which is the first time I went down the rabbit hole was to cap that skill for my Mesmer.
Hey, do I need that? Fuck if I know.
Not really.
You sure? I have a lot of heroes.
It's more of a player type skill, IMO.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still.
Alright, Dave. Wow us.
Mine is actually not in Eye of the North.
Oh, shit.
Mine is actually not in... One of them... I'm torn between 2. I love the facet of the underworld. I love the fact that you can go there and you can talk to the dead.
I love the loading screen for the underworld.
Yeah, even though that place actually isn't in the underworld. I do not like the underworld since they added Doom and the Skeletons of Doom and all that. They did that to keep balanced group, or they did that to keep people from speed clearing. And all it did was just aggravate the speed clear groups and made it to where most casual groups can't go in there. But
Yep.
the underworld is huge. Literally, you can spend hours in there going around. The place that's tied with that for me is Vabi. I love the architecture in Vabi. I love the desert. I love everything about Vabi in Alona.
Mm-hmm.
I would also like to add the Tomb of the Primeval Kings to mine. After you do Glint's mission and ascend fully, you get access to a PvE version of the Tomb of the Primeval Kings, It's hard as balls, but my god, it is cool.
Used to be able to farm ectos in there till they nerfed the hell out of all the builds that could go in there.
Yeah.
Sigh. I saw one though. At first I was starting to resign to the fact that I would never get to see an ecto, but then I was screen sharing with Dave and he got one.
Yeah.
And I decided it was close enough.
Close enough.
Yep. Well, every time to come to Lion's Arch, there's a fantastic fireworks display going on. That it doesn't involve those stupid bees.
Nah.
Oh, I lied.
There,
Fucking
they-
bees.
Fucking bees.
Anyway.
Alright, so listener feedback. We want your feedback. Rate us on iTunes. Give us a thumbs up on Stitcher. Send us an email. Ask us stuff. And yeah, we didn't have any this week, as you might have
I
caught
guess.
from the bitterness of my tone.
Eventually, Jared.
Eventually, you guys will talk to us, and we'll
Rome
talk back.
Day.
What?
Rome wasn't built in a day. Was that as inspirational as it was supposed to be? Because it came
Yes.
from Lackard.
Yes, it was. I was moved almost to tears.
Oh,
Made
damn.
me feel like I had to do a bowel movement.
I've actually got to pee really bad, so
Me
I'm
too.
glad we're at the end of the show. So you can reach us at in the following ways, or at the following ways, depending on how you roll. You can listen on the web at ascendantsofascalon.wordpress.com, and that's where you can also see our show notes. You can email the show, ascendantsofascalon@gmail.com. You can reach us on Twitter at @AOFA_podcast. That's AOFA_podcast. Individually, you can reach me on Twitter at Solietu, SOLIETU, or Jeremy.
At JQSage, SAGE.
And Dave and Mel, you can talk to through the show email. So email
or
us.
Or through me or Jared.
Or you can stalk me on Facebook.
Or if you can find any of us on Facebook, you can stalk us there. But we're
Except for
not
Dave,
gonna.
we can't stalk Dave on Facebook.
We're not gonna make that easy for you. You can listen live every week at twitch.tv/wowsolietu. You can catch a VOD on YouTube, youtube.com/wowsolietu, or, as previously mentioned, you can listen to this recording on iTunes or Stitcher, and generally you'll get some bonus footage from the pre-show that's not in the VOD version.
Oh, that Jared doesn't tell us he's recording.
Yep.
Because I don't mention that I'm recording until at least 10 minutes into the pre-show.
And after really inappropriate, not politically correct things.
So, anything big on the docket for you guys this week?
I work tomorrow, and then we'll be going to the farm, where you will also be.
That's true. I will be there.
When's our next podcast?
Next week sometime.
Sigh.
I should have my schedule by tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll hash that out
Excellent.
sometime before the weekend. Yeah, it'll be sometime during the week next week, probably. Or maybe next weekend? Next weekend's Easter, so we should probably do it before the holiday.
Yep. Special holiday edition, like St. Patrick's Day.
Alright, so with that, we're going to let Dave devote his full attention to speed clearing, and we will see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I like the delayed bye there.
Usually is. I think last week I had to yell at him for it. And then Jared cut it off.
I think I did.
You definitely did.
I don't remember why. I probably just was itchy on the button. Okay.